Hey, what's up? I got a question online and I want to answer it right now. So the question is, if you deliver this, so you have an all on X day and you place your implants and you do your conversion, you have an immediate temporary on there, and now you have these little gaps there. You got these little gaps and maybe you didn't notice it on the day of, but now you notice it and you're like freaking out about it. What should you do? So my answer for that is, well, it's not the end of the world, first of all. So don't freak out about it. Don't worry about it. If you see those gaps, there's basically two options. The first thing is, well, you can call your patient back right away and seat those things back down. So it's a lot more involved than it sounds, actually. If you wanted to go back and remove those from your temporary appliance and then seat those things down all the way, you can do that, but the reason that those multi-unit abutments are not seated all the way is because they have bone that is impinging on them. So they have bone that is pushing down on the multi-unit abutment. So if you can see that, so like these multi-unit abutments right on the corner, they might be actually touching bone. And like, for example, right there, see, there's bone there and it's touching the multi-unit abutment. So it's preventing it from seating down. So what you have to do is open everything up and adjust the bone and then seat that multi-unit abutment down. Now, obviously that's a big pain in the butt and you don't want to do that right now, most likely because your patient just went through a big procedure and you don't want to put them through more pain right now. That's totally fine. Just leave them with what they've got. They will be fine. They will heal up fine. All you got to do is make sure that you check in regularly with that patient, because what you don't want happening is those multi-unit abutments coming loose and then they start rocking, right? The denture or the fixed temporary starts rocking on those abutments. And when it starts rocking, then you get a little bit of screw loosening. And then you get more and more screw loosening and rocking and more screw loosening and rocking, and then you get a fracture of your temporary. So make sure to bring them back regularly, maybe like, I don't know, monthly, or even if you want to bring them in more, that's fine, right? Obviously, you just finished up your big surgery, have them in anyway on the next day for a follow-up, and then bring them 2 weeks later. And then you can bring them in monthly and check the tightness on those screws. So for those access channels, you don't want to fill that in with composite, fill it in with silicone, so with just some light body PVS, because you can pluck it out easy and then just tighten it. Make sure it's always tight. And if you keep it tight and keep a close eye on it, you'll be totally fine. Just after the patient heals up during the osseointegration period, after the osseointegration period is finished, then you can go back and, well, you can flap and adjust the bone, level it out a little bit at those sites where you need to, and then make sure that your multi-unit abutments go on. I'm sorry, it's kind of like an extended answer. After you make sure that the multi-unit abutments are fully seated, they might not, or like your fixed denture, your fixed temporary denture might no longer seat on them, because the multi-unit abutment is at a little bit of a lower level. Then it's like seating more fully, so there might be a little gap. And so you might not be able to engage those anymore with your screw. So what you have to do is, it is time consuming. You got to carve those out of the temporary fixed denture and pick them back up in the mouth. So that will take you a little bit of time. Maybe that'll take you an hour or an hour and a half. Just make sure to block a good amount of time for the bone adjustment around those implants and for picking up that denture again. So you should block a decent amount of time. I don't know, 3 hours for it, if it's just going to be you that's doing the work. Again, it's not the end of the world, though. You can manage it at this point. Just like baby it along, help the patient recover, forget about the trauma from the surgery, be in a good headspace, and then when they come back, you can go ahead and make those adjustments, and no big deal. Next time, you'll make sure that your multi-unit abutments are fully seated before actually picking up a fixed immediate load temporary on there. Hope that helps. Don't worry about it. You got it. Everything will be just fine. I do want to mention those multi-unit abutments. Neodent does make some slim ones, so that's sort of like the benefit of their multi-unit abutment system, so that helps. But the other systems, you do have to make sure that you do adjust that bone. It's not that huge of an inconvenience. You won't forget anymore after it happens to you once. So as long as you do your bone leveling, you can basically use any system's multi-unit abutments, no problem. All right, bye-bye. Hope that helps.